Hello, and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network, where we live by the rule that if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. You are joining us for the Cookout podcast, where we're going to talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling.
Yes.
What's up,
How y'all
y'all?
doing? What's up? Another Tuesday night.
Another day, another dollar.
Let's say to the dollar. Thanks everyone for joining us in the chat, watching us live. Please comment. We are interactive here. We want to hear what you have to say. We are going to be talking specifically at some point about the top 5 best wrestling crossovers in history. But I think first we're just going to kind of check in and see anyone got anything they want to say about Monday Night Raw or NXT that just ended. Tim?
How do you feel about Nikki missing the trash can? Good or bad?
I thought she got the trash can.
Me too.
I definitely saw she did not get the trash can.
I heard a thud, so I'm like, oh, dang, that championship is real hard on the bottom of the trash.
And I heard the clinking.
Clearly, they didn't care enough to do a second take to make sure they got it in the garbage can.
I guess I show you that it's live, but
yeah, what they care.
Unless you point it out, I thought she got it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But I guess that's the end of the 24/7 championship because she threw it in the trash. We're not going to see it anymore.
Yes,
I'm going to miss that championship, even though I haven't watched Raw in months.
So Dana Brooke was kind of a little hurt about the whole I tried to elevate this title deal. What do you guys think about that? I thought it was kind of odd. It's still only the 24/7 title.
She did because Dana really she put a lot into it.
Yeah,
and there was tried to improve.
There was no saving that title.
No, of course.
As soon as it was off of R-Truth and Drake Maverick, it just
my sentiment exactly. I'm like, if R-Truth ain't butthurt about it, I don't really think Dana Brooke did that much.
Yeah, I think she's taking it a little too serious. I mean, I understand that
no one gave more than Drake Maverick.
Your only title run, but
R-Truth has bigger things to worry about besides the 24/7 championship. 1 and 2, that honestly could be Dana's only belt.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's probably why she's taking it so hard. And I will say that Dana Brooke has really tried to improve, and she's improved in a lot of areas. And when your job is very physically demanding, there are things that you probably should not do that could be a detriment to that job. I'm saying it nice because I actually
choosing your words very wisely.
But if it were Ashley Flair, so I'm being nice. See y'all, see
improvement. I think what would have saved it, well, for me personally, was during the wedding of Tamina, Tozawa, and Reggie and Dana. Tamina should have won it.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi and Sasha should have helped Tamina win the belt. That could have done it.
I would have been interested in that, of Tamina just knocking bitches around.
I don't get why Tamina didn't win the belt. So when that didn't happen, I'm like, all right, I don't care no more.
I'm just imagining Reggie coming after Tamina and Tamina just laying him out.
To the stone wall. Yes. Yeah. That would have saved it for me. Yeah.
Hold up. Reggie still got a job in WWE?
Does he?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
That's what
he did at that time. He definitely did at that time.
I didn't hear no releases.
Okay, so first off, Reggie is 29.
Okay.
From St. Louis.
Yeah.
He was in the circus. He used to be in a gang.
You see him flipping. That totally makes sense.
I know my St. Louis boys.
Oh my gosh.
He was in Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it says he still got a job. I guess he's like J2G. JTG. Just don't answer the phone.
just turn into the phone.
If you don't answer the phone, you still got a job.
Right.
I mean, let's be real.
Don't.
For years, we were all like, how does JTG still have a job? What is going on? Everybody was like, oh, they forgot about him. No, he just did not pick up the phone.
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
There's no more fax machines. So, Vince.
Baby, that check still come? All right, cool. We still good. Okay. Oh my gosh.
And on Raw, I watched Raw. Well, I watched the beginning of Raw, and then I stopped because I just couldn't take it anymore. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Usos and the New Day are great, and everything they do is great. I'm just tired of seeing them against each other all the time. It's like, oh my god, here we go again. And Matt Riddle, he didn't help, and I'm tired of that
I like
whole like get my bong. Like, come on, like these are terrible stoner jokes. Like they're not even funny. It's just
Hopefully.
I was thinking that spot was originally going to go to R-Truth, but because of what happened,
yeah.
it was
That
Matt
makes
Riddle
way
instead.
more sense.
Right? That makes I like that better.
Yeah, for sure.
But the whole New Day versus Usos, this at least it has a point.
Yeah.
Like Friday is the combination. Either they're gonna break the record or New Day's gonna keep the record. So I was all in for it. Side note,
Until the next time they wrestle.
right. Side note, WWE. Please don't book your shows around World Series time, because if the town loses, the crowd's gonna suck. I didn't.
That crowd
know
was
that.
terrible.
I didn't know that. You know, it was because I didn't put two and two together. Oh, they're in Pennsylvania. Oh, the Phillies lost. Oh, that's why they're not doing crap tonight. Cause that crowd was pissing me off. I'm like, Mia Yill's back. Usos versus New Day is actually a good promo. Y'all are not giving me anything. And like, oh, y'all
Now
lost.
imagine if that promo was interrupted by, "What's up?"
It would have been way better, and R-Truth would have been able to pull off anything. R-Truth believably convinces me all the time that he could be a WWE champion. I know it's because it's partially of his skill, and it's also partially because of how he talks. But I believe him. I believe him, and I feel very ridiculous believing that.
Don't feel ridiculous.
He's a really good wrestler and a very good promo. I mean, he's been given comedy stuff when really, and maybe that's what he wants to do. Maybe he's more than happy with what he's doing, but like he could have been a serious champion and a real serious contender wrestler as far as I'm concerned. Like
I really thought that the former convict was going to win the world title at the pay-per-view called Capital Punishment. I really thought he was going to win.
Like, yeah, 2011, 2012, they gave him a good chance, but he was living in the Cena era, so
yeah.
I didn't believe it because we're in the Cena era, but it's like
The Miz won it. The
NWA
Miz won it.
NWA champion. R-Truth was an NWA champion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Ron Killings had a really good career. I mean, on the indie scene before he came to WWE and became R-Truth. I mean,
and he was cool in TNA too.
He was cool in TNA, yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Damn John Cena.
For sure. So what you guys think of Mia Yim coming back?
I ain't watched it.
You didn't watch it?
So I couldn't get my Oscar with AJ and the OC. This is the next best thing. I'm here for it. I think she can handle I want her versus Rhea Ripley. That's going to be a banger. I'm here for it.
I would have preferred her in AEW.
Oh. Let me go first.
I would have preferred her in AEW.
Like right now it's a toss up. I think right now all the indie people were like, "Welcome to AEW." But you got Brittany over there.
I think Mia Yim would add a lot to that division.
But would they
more so
use
than
her?
she does to WWE right now.
Like,
I
no
think
offense.
they would have to use her
You
because she. Okay, so we all know that I love Big Swole. The problem with Big Swole was that she has an illness that can and does take her out.
Yeah.
I think that Mia Yim has all the qualities that I love in Big Swole without the illness. So her limit is so much higher.
Yeah.
And by pure charisma, by pure wrestling skill, they cannot not use her. So in WWE, they can not use her because they can just hide her.
I like in this era. I give more faith to WWE. With AEW, I'm gonna see how this Jamie Hayter thing's played out because it's Hayter versus Tony for the next pay-per-view. I want to see how they're gonna do this match. It really is gonna bank on how they treat their future women. For me, like, all right, Hayter's on the hot streak.
Like,
The
I'm not
time
going to
is
be
now.
upset whoever wins.
I think Mia Yim has a better chance to stand out in AEW because I think I think Tony Khan's more likely to give her time than I think Triple H is, just because she's not kind of that general WWE style female wrestler. But at the same time, she's also unique because she's not. So, but I did think I don't know, like, I like her a lot. I just don't know that she fits with the OC for me. Like, I don't mind her wrestling Rhea Ripley. It's kind of like, oh, we didn't have anybody else and we have her, we might as well stick her here. Like, she just doesn't seem like a natural fit with them for me. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
If hopefully they'll tie it with the past because the OC and her were in Impact. So if they let Corey wild out, let him mention that on broadcast on commentary, and hopefully they can intertwine it. So I have hope. I'll wait and see.
I mean, what if the OC just keeps drafting more former Impact people? Come over here, Bobby Roode. You're with us now.
Come over here. Kill. Oh, sorry. See, okay. See,
just get Bobby Roode back on the damn TV.
Right?
I'm off of that. About that. Cause I actually do like that storyline. Everybody from Impact. Come on, Mickey James. You're next up. Let's see who can beat Rhea Ripley.
Will Nick?
Well, if she loses, she retires, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, question.
Yep.
Where do y'all see Nick Aldis going?
I was just gonna add. That was one of the questions I was gonna ask. That's a tough question because he's.
Would he go back to Impact?
No. Nick Aldis.
Magnus.
Thank you. Now he was in NWA for the last couple of years as Nick Aldis, but
he's
Magnus in
Mickey
TNA.
James's husband.
Okay.
NWA champion for what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, he was NWA champion for like 2 years, and then.
You know what I could really see him do? That Freddie Prince promotion that's going up in LA. I think that
you get him a SAG card because I think that'd probably be the way to go. But he was in All Out. No, All In. He had the match with Cody.
He did.
Was it for the NWA belt?
It was.
And it was out like one of Cody's best matches. But he was very upset by the treatment of his wife and women's wrestlers in NWA, amongst other things. So he suspended, but he had already said, May 1st, I'm a free agent. So what up, though?
He's recently been very critical of whatchamacallit, William
Billy Corgan, which
so Billy Corgan. So no, I mean that he's not a spring chicken. I mean, he's got to be 40, if not 41, 42. So he's not young. So I don't know. I'm not sure. My guess is he'll end up in some other independent promotion, maybe the Freddie Prinze promotion. Maybe he'll do something in TNA. I don't know. I mean, Impact, I guess, not TNA. I'm sorry, Impact, which I guess indie. It's not really indie, but I don't see him coming to WWE. That's for sure, or AEW. I don't
Mm.
think there's really a space for him in either one of those. So
I think he could come to AEW, but he could go across multiple promotions
yeah,
or ROH.
yeah, I can see him in ROH. He's a good
Is
wrestler. I mean, he's still got a
he,
lot in the tank. I
is he
mean,
a former ROH champion of any kind?
I believe so. I think he is.
If he is, I'd like to see him be the one to take it from Jericho.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
that.
I like
Mainly because I like chaos and I also want to see what would happen.
that. That's what the
No, I
world
mean he's a
remembers.
good wrestler. I mean, wherever
Mhm.
he goes, as long as he can. I also think he's kind of got a little bit of, from what I understand, just from what I hear, and I'm not a behind the scenes type person, but it's a little bit that I've heard, he can be a little, and I'm going to relate this to somebody that we come out, a little CM Punkish behind the scenes, kind of
Mhm.
shit disturber sometimes and not happy no matter what's going on sometimes. So,
Eh.
um, and just kind of like a dark cloud type of person. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I've heard from other talking heads and stuff. So, and other insiders. So, if that's the case, then who knows? Maybe he's not great in the locker room, but he still works well in the ring and he's a good promo. So I mean, I like seeing him on TV. I like
Mhm.
seeing him in TNA. I mean,
What wrestler
and
isn't?
NWA, huh?
What wrestler isn't that of a hothead because it didn't go their way? As long as you
Right?
ain't biting people with your friends, it's fine.
No doubt, no doubt. So the other question I had was, what do you guys think about Austin Theory's cash in on the Open
Why
Challenge?
you? Okay, so I didn't put. I was in that press because it's like, no offense. Let's be real, okay? When he won Money in the Bank, when the surprise person came out and it wasn't Cody Rhodes, we none of us wasn't mad. None of us wanted to turn off Money in the Bank. All of us was happy about Austin Theory. So what is this change of heart? Oh my God, they buried Austin Theory. This was the worst thing in the world. I'm like, oh, now we care. Now we care. Why do we care now? We didn't. None of us wanted him to have the thing in the first place. So why do we care now? Now,
Yeah,
granted, I will say I didn't put two and two together that it was that the match didn't start and he could have saved it. That was a misstep. If I missed it, well, hopefully another person missed it. But like I think that was more of a misstep than a oh my God they buried him. He can't come. Yes, he can come back from this. Yes, he can.
well, of course he can. He's 24 years old. He'll be back. He's gonna be around for a long time. He'll come back from this. But
It's like come on.
I guess the whole thing is like, what are we doing just in general? Like, why in the scripted program are you putting Money in the Bank on someone you don't want it on and don't
Hey,
have a program for, and then have it handled like this in the end? Like, I mean,
Uh,
I don't why do this like at all. You don't have to. No one's forcing your hands to make these decisions. Like, I
uh,
don't.
don't forget who was Money in the Bank
I
winner
guess
two
it's
years ago.
yeah,
Otis. Like, this,
yeah.
no, this honestly, this is one regime of power going to another one. Like
Hmm.
we all
There's
knew Vince
growing
McMahon.
pains.
Like Austin Theory was Vince McMahon's boy, even
Yeah.
though and that hurt him. That hurt him. We all know he had potential. NXT he was enjoyable. We all liked him, but it
Mhm.
was a whole Vince straight push to the moon, straight running over people that he shouldn't have ran over. That
Sure.
that we did not like. So
Yeah.
yes, get the like yes, logistically you could have done this better. But I'm not this pressed about y'all getting the thing off of him. And the story is he doesn't want to listen to anybody. So you didn't listen to anybody. I like okay, this is how you save it, in my opinion. So the story before this was every veteran is trying to give him advice, but he doesn't want
Right.
to listen. It's getting his behind whooped, right? So hopefully I would like like Gargano's the more obvious choice, but you can have KO in this situation as well. Come in and say, dude, why? This is why you never gonna make it to the top. You really didn't have to cash this in, but you don't want to listen. And then hopefully he swallowed his pride after probably getting beat down a couple of more times and go back to Johnny Gargano. That's how you rebuild him. If y'all really cared that much about his career and you feel that sorry for him.
I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for myself and for other wrestling fans because this should have been Jake Atlas. This should have been Jake Atlas. And then he fucked it up. We can also say that it could have been Patrick Clark, but he fucked it up too.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people can't get out of their own way.
I feel sorry for myself that I had to endure all of this just to get this, and now we're gonna redo it because they're gonna have some type of fuckery. I feel sorry for myself. I feel sorry for all of us who watch this. I don't even watch it live. I get snips, and I still cry a little bit about the fact that this fool is foolish, man. Of John Cena, Baron Corbin, and Otis in flop cash-ins.
Yep.
And then I also feel sorry for myself that we had to have this discussion, and I'm sober. I do not want to talk about Austin Theory unless I am inebriated. Because every time I see him, I see quite possibly. How can I say this politically correct?
Oh, hell no.
Take your time.
There you go. With all due respect, Renee.
He might be the poster child of what people think gay men are. And I feel sorry for any gay man that has to have that be the poster child. He's not. And y'all deserve better. Y'all have Anthony Bowens' representation. And people will point out freaking Austin Theory. He has no personality. He seems to have lost his wrestling ability. I just want him to go to a farm and find it.
A farm?
Yeah.
A farm. Maybe he'll eat an egg. Maybe a chicken will help him.
I would have suggested Fred Rosser personally.
I mean, does he still wrestle?
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched him the other day wrestle.
Because I felt like I saw a poster of him, but I felt like I also saw that he was like, that's not a true event. So I was just like, okay, I don't know if you wrestle anymore. Because he was banging. He had a lot of potential. I don't understand why he got let go, but I don't understand Vince anyway. So.
Moral of the story: don't be the villain in your own story.
Well, there is that.
Stupid. It makes you look stupid.
Is JTG still wrestling?
Yep, and NWA. He's with Fandango. They're the Dirty Sexy Boys.
Oh, you won't hear about him?
You know that sounds fun. I might have to check out NWA now.
The Dirty Sexy Boys.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and of course
I'm gonna have to check that out.
They have Velvet on commentary, and she just freaks out every time Fandango wiggles his hips. She's like, "You can come wiggle them right over here on me, like, come on, Velvet."
Okay, can we be real? Can we be real about Fandango or Fandango? I like him. He's cool or whatever. But when he was Curtis, what was his last name? Was it Johnny Curtis? Or was it Curtis something? Like back in FCW, early NXT, when he was like super sleazy.
And everybody treated him like he was the most disgusting thing in the world.
And he was just like, I'm just saying what you guys want to say, but you're too scared to say it. Like
they treated him like he was like Joey Ryan or something. Was that too much?
I mean, if
You
you
tell me.
um, he was huge sleeves, loved it, and I love the fact that he got to wrestle more like a Moxley style.
Mm.
Looked more comfortable doing it. If you haven't seen his early NXT FCW work, go back and watch it because he was a much better wrestler and storyteller to me when he was doing that.
It's been a long time since I watched the game show era
of NXT.
Look, okay.
That's when he came in.
Yeah.
They clearly rigged the women's one. They clearly rigged that one. I will maintain that if they had not, Naomi would have won. And yeah.
Agreed.
Shall we move into our main topic of the show?
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Top 5 best wrestling entertainment crossovers in history. Which seems to span quite a few things, right? I mean, my list kind of varies from different stuff. Like,
The way I was able to narrow my brain down was I picked celebrities that came in and contributed.
I did that. I also did wrestlers that became celebrities, and then I did athletes that became celebrities or became wrestlers as well. So
I think I did both. We'll see.
If they were famous athletes before, I only did famous athletes before. Like I didn't.
So like I didn't do The Rock.
Oh.
But I really should have done Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle was 6 because he was already famous before he ever.
I will maintain The Rock was not that good of a wrestler and he's not that good of an actor. But I stand with Vin Diesel sometimes when he's talking shit.
I think if any wrestler
we're
is
about to mute
gonna win an
CM here in a
Oscar,
minute.
I'm gonna put my money on Batista.
Well, damn it!
Right.
Stop! Don't take my list.
So are we gonna go around the horn? Everyone do 5, and then we'll talk about them, or?
Well, it's only 5, right? So we can do.
Right? No. I just mean everyone do their number 5, and then 4, and then 3. You want to do it? All right. So who wants to go first with their number 5?
I'll go first.
Go ahead. Kick it off.
So I'm gonna give this to a longtime partner, Saturday Night Live, which I think works better on Saturday Night Live than it works on WWE. When the SNL people come over, it doesn't work so well, but when the wrestlers go over, it works really well.
Because Michael Che and Scarlett Johansson's husband in the Rumble
was terrible. Michael Che might have been the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, Scarlett Johansson's husband. I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Colin Jost.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was worse. Michael Che at least was kind of humorous, but Colin Jost just made me want to just. I wanted to jump through the TV so I could throw him over, so then I could go over and jump back through my TV. That's when I saw him.
No, I mean that's a solid pick because most megastars, WWE superstars have been on Saturday Night Live in some way, shape, or form. So,
and it has worked out way better.
What I haven't noticed, and I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in a while, but does AEW get their stars on Saturday Night Live? I haven't noticed that.
I don't think so. Like, if Cody wasn't on there, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't been, I don't think anyone's going to be on there for a minute.
Adam Cole and Britt Baker were on Bar Rescue. That's the only thing I've heard.
Interesting.
I don't know if NBC can have them up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
That makes sense. That might be it. But if Jade hasn't been up there, Chris Jericho wasn't up there, CM Punk, if the freaking Elite haven't been up there, no, I don't think they can go up there.
More so Jade, because Jay's going to, I predict Jay's going to be the first breakout superstar of AEW. Like, she's going to be everywhere in your face. and she
Yeah.
deserves it.
Yeah.
CM, you want to go next? Number 5? Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Tony. What were you saying?
I wanted to state that I feel like Mox would be invited, but he would also immediately tell him to go fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't see John
You know,
Moxley
really,
doing
like
is it
let
bad
him
doing
be.
that
that. And,
Mox? I would love to see Mox on a show like Big Brother, just so he can just look at them and just be like, "Y'all are really fucked up human beings. And I'm a wrestler."
Like if John Moxley would be on SNL, I want him to come as John Moxley. I don't want him to act like anything else. Like have a basic skit come and then he just come in like the Kool-Aid Man as John Moxley. I think that would be the most hilarious thing in the world.
Not the Kool-Aid Man.
You know, Mox could have a real future in Hollywood. I hear a lot of people over there like to drink blood too.
nice.
Besides that, and I love
Moving
it.
on.
That was great. That was really great. But also, Mox has the ability to have a great character. I could see Mox and Eddie Kingston honestly being really good actors because they deliver lines very well and they also make you believe whatever character they are. But number 5 for me, I am going to go with Pete Rose. And that
Really?
is because, look,
On a best list, not a worst list.
I'm going for best because he antagonized Glenn Jacobs, and I love every moment. You cannot tell me. I still to this day around the time of year Pete Rose will pop up. I want Pete Rose to pop up. I'm pretty sure he might be, but he could pop up if they could make him like what is those things? A hologram.
A hologram.
Let's make him a hologram.
I was thinking about Eddie Kingston just then because you brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
I would love him to see. I would love to see him in the role of man resisting arrest. Doesn't matter if it's a TV show or a movie. Eddie Kingston would be perfect for the role of man resisting arrest.
On an episode of Cops.
So they can't be Cops. So you want him to take over the entire episode? You know what? Put him on SVU. I know that's gonna sound so bad, but he's wrongfully accused.
Yeah, wrongfully accused. Resisting arrest, wrongfully accused.
And it's just like he's trying to like get back to his kid. You know what? Look. See, you watch it because we know that you know that we know that you watch. So we just giving you money, CHK. We just ask for a small percentage and like residuals of our kids lives. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just say Workhorse Wrestling Network in the opening video package for any AEW show.
No. I need my money. I need that. What's his name?
Episode.
I need the voice of young Simba deal. Give me a little bit up front and then give me money forever and make me a millionaire while everybody else is kind of like not getting that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's what I mean. So yes. Who's going next?
Miss Anika, you want to go next?
This might be cheating, but I don't care. The whole Attitude Era. I'm getting like WCW, WWF from really 1998 to 2001. It was on fire. It was a party and everybody was coming to party. Like when you have Dennis Rodman, or it's the finals of the freaking basketball NBA championship. But you're like, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come through WCW real quick. I'm gonna come back and win this chip. And it's like, why would you do that? Jordan was like, we won, right? You got paid. I don't care. And then like you saw Adam Sandler and go back to Saturday Night Live, like that. Like when The Rock, it was Triple H Mick Foley and Big Show came over, that was hilariously fun. Like everybody was coming over to have fun, no matter what side of the spectrum you was at, and I was here for it.
I'm gonna just say like this: Jordan could have told Dennis Rodman not to do it, but Jordan would have had an accident. Dennis Rodman ain't, anybody who has respect of a freaking dictator and the dictator will actively listen to them about decisions concerning America, you might not should mess with. I'm just saying. We probably the reason we ain't been. I'm just put it out.
So I agree. I think it's cheating a little bit, Miss Anika, just because there was some foul celebrity stuff that happened during the Attitude Era as well. So
I
placing
remember such foul stuff.
the whole Attitude Era is a bad life.
I just remember the good
Just the good
We gonna
stuff.
move past that. We not gonna talk about the bad stuff, right?
Yeah. So
we could go into big scandals of the Attitude Era on another episode.
Good stuff. That's all I'm thinking about.
That's all I'm thinking.
It was our childhood. We know.
Tunnel vision.
All right.
All right. My number 5 is Pat McAfee. Because he crossed over, obviously, from being a
Do y'all hear that too?
I want to do the drive-by.
It's not a drive-by. ALW, your headphones are messing up. Okay. My ALW gets that fixed. Pat McAfee is a great choice. I don't know if y'all remember the first time he was on, was it SmackDown? And he was
What I missed.
So, I do remember when he was on the NXT First Invasion, and everybody was held up in Saudi Arabia, so we had to bring NXT people over to save SmackDown. And he was like, I'm gonna do commentary, bet. And it was like, who is this fool? Why you have shorts on? Why are you so good at this? You used to be a punter? What is going on? So yeah, no. From his match to him with Adam Cole up into him versus Austin Theory. You can tell he put work in. He put the work in. If you want to give him a call it Intercontinental Championship shot, I wouldn't mind that.
He was also in a faction with Pete Dunne.
Oh shit!
War Games. Yep.
You're right. We forget. He's done
that pandemic, man. I know we weren't there for the pandemic live, the people in the audience, but low key, those stories were bomb. Like I honestly just put crowd noise in the background, and it might change those a bunch of stuff significantly.
I like the Thunderdome era. I was in there almost every week in the Thunderdome era.
Right.
Fun. I just want to know, why can't they have good stories like they had in the Thunderdome era now? Why are you more creative when you have no fans live than when you have fans live?
It's something about being pushed against the wall to bring it out. Don't know why that's necessary. It's like I think McFoley said it best. After they beat WCW, who are we going against? So it's hard. There you go. You can't run faster if no one's chasing you, is what he said. And he was like, you wish that wasn't the case, but it's the case most times.
ALW, you ready to tell us a little bit more why?
I don't know. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah,
you're good. You're all set.
All right. My bad. No, I got Pat McAfee because he was already fairly well known before he came over. He crossed over, and he's good in the ring when he's been in the ring, and he's had staying power, and he's good on the mic as an announcer. So he's hung around and been able to maintain his spot. So I think
I
I
like
think
him
he's
better than
one
Michael
of the
Cole.
yeah, I agree. I think he's one of the better. I like him better than Corey Graves, honestly.
Especially during the era of Rick Boogs.
Oh yeah,
Pat McAfee and Rick Boogs was a very nice thing to have on Fridays.
Pat McAfee with the New Day. You know what? I would like to see a booth just for pure chaos and no other reason. A booth of Pat McAfee, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton.
It was nice seeing a commentator who was loving every second of it.
I would love that.
yeah.
Like, I just, because Pat loves it, Byron loves it, and I just don't like Corey Graves as a human. So I think it would be great.
And Pat had more personality than any commentator we've had in 30 years, 40 years, 30, 40
Now
years.
let's disrespect Byron Saxton. I'm gonna always stand up for my boy. The other one,
Do you think Byron has more personality?
What about Jonathan
He
Coachman?
has more personality. I would say that he has a personality.
A
Besides
person.
that, Morrow and Byron on the main roster. Bless you. No one
Thank
else
you.
really has a personality besides I read the lines that I'm scripted to read.
Oh, remember the days of Gorilla Monsoon, Randy Savage? I mean, I wasn't alive, but I watched the tapes.
Really?
Way to make everybody feel old.
I
Sammy.
mean, Dad. That was
Yeah.
Way to make, you know what? You know what?
That was not necessary information to this discussion. It really wasn't.
I can't even do what I wanted to do because it's not my camera. It cuts it all the way off. But there's a finger. Read between the lines. Read between the lines.
That's all you do.
All right, Mr. Sammy, who you got it for?
Number 4. Oh, Muhammad Ali.
Ooh.
Okay.
His match against Antonio Inoki, which, as you know, Antonio Inoki
Mhm.
went on and did some big things. He also did some time in politics, and there's some talk, but like I like Inoki. I like Inoki. There's some talk. I like Inoki.
CM knows nothing of what Sammy Joe is speaking on. I am not involved in anything.
I didn't say anything.
Japanese related, but Antonio Inoki is perfect in every way.
We love Inoki here.
According to Sammy Joe, Anika Wilson has no idea what Sammy's saying. But
I didn't say anything.
we agree with the thoughts.
I am not getting chopped up for yours. They will not give me crying time.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, does Antonio Inoki in and of himself count as a
Interesting.
like a wrestling entertainment politician crossover?
Maybe.
He did a better job of it than I feel some others have.
Ventura.
What's wrong with Jesse Ventura? I was kidding.
So can we talk more about Ali?
Sure.
Yes,
Dude.
yes, please.
How can you not love Ali? And being the biggest thing in boxing, being probably the biggest star in the world at that time, going over to Japan and wrestling a match. Like, holy shit. And it makes perfect sense of why Mike Tyson is such a big wrestling fan. He idolized Ali.
Yep.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I like that. I like the connection.
Could we
We don't
also
have Mike Tyson without Ali.
could we credit Ali for
No.
potentially helping to develop Japanese strong style?
I never thought of it that way.
Because
Wow.
I remember what you're talking about, and I remember like seeing and hearing about it, but I'm like thinking about how Ali moves and how like Shinsuke Nakamura moves makes me feel like, and we call Shinsuke like the king of strong style.
Yeah.
Sammy Joe, look at you,
That's crazy though.
just bro.
That's a Parts Unknown video right there. You know
So
what
we
I'm
just
saying?
added creator of strong style Japanese wrestling to Muhammad Ali's resume.
Co-creator.
Co-creator,
Co-creator. I love it.
influencer.
Now I
Influencer.
want to go back and watch this match and just one
I
because
need to watch it
Ali-
again now too.
And you can also kind of credit thinking about how Ali speaks and the passion that he puts into it. That could have also played a major role in like promos and stuff because you're right. Mike
If you compare
Tyson,
it to like Okada,
Mike
Oh, in
Tyson
general.
idolized him as a boxer, but people obviously mimic things that he says, his mannerisms, still to this day.
Yeah.
That damn Sammy, why are you pulling all this?
I mean, they were doing wrestling promos in territories before Muhammad Ali was on TV boxing, but
True,
yes, I mean, but-
when you look at his, I'll be real and very honest with you. As growing up in the family that I did, and them seeing a lot of the young stars before they were young stars, weren't too many white people connecting with black folks like that when they would speak until like Dusty Rhodes, because still to this day, still this day, folks go hard about Dusty being part black.
we will never know the relationship between him and old girl in the polka dots. We don't know. They always said that was his friend. We don't know. We don't know. Picking them his little bell come out. I'm just saying.
Sammy Joe, I'm gonna just go back to this. Sammy Joe always be pulling out all the good shit. Throwing shit old, but throwing out all the good shit. Like, you know what, Sammy? You still got you.
if I was born in Japan, he probably would have been number one on my list.
Mm.
You it's blue, and then you right here, right above blue.
Of course, yes. Naturally.
All right. CM, what you got it for?
My number 4 is as a Scooby-Doo head, Scooby-Doo, because you have them going over and doing stuff with Scooby-Doo, and kind of like Scooby-Doo coming over a little bit too, with like Freddie Prinze Jr. and other folks involved in the Scooby universe, getting involved in wrestling.
They were number 10 on my list.
Yeah, I'm a Scooby-Doo head. The newer Scooby-Doo movies with them in it.
I remain hopeful
WrestleMania
for Freddie Prinze
mystery.
Jr.'s new promotion.
They are Miz level of watchable. Miz acting level of watchable. But if you are ever bored and need good things to go to sleep to, they are great.
Like that they came out around the time my niece was into it, right? And so I watched the one where they were looking for someone and it was a hell in a cell on fire. And I'm like, okay, this don't suck.
That's like
They
peak.
don't suck.
It's like peak right there. You can don't watch me like that.
What's up, Hassan? Thanks for joining us as always.
AEW Dark and Dark Elevation were good to me this week. I'm gonna go back and rewatch some of them, like rewatch both of them.
I haven't seen Dark yet.
It was good.
I haven't watched either yet. I'll watch them both tomorrow.
Let's
All
go.
Miss Anika, who you got at number 4?
Pass.
not passing.
I need more time. Like I have my top three. And I
Her
don't know
first was
why,
a
but
20-year span, then she passes.
like,
The Attitude
number-
Era was not a 20
I
years.
know, I'm kidding. I was
At
giving her.
most, it was 5.
I know, I was talking shit, but I'm just saying.
like number 4 was hard for some reason. I'm like, what's number 4? I have a top 3, but I don't have a 4. So you
All
you
right,
go
all right,
and have what
all
I
right.
do.
Let's see. My number 4 is Bill Goldberg because he was a fairly decently known football player before he came to WCW from the Atlanta Falcons.
Where you go, sis?
I would just like to call attention to the man in the pink tights. His thoughts and views on Bill Goldberg is how I feel as well.
Just because he can't take a gut punch to the stomach.
He told Goldberg where to hit him, and that motherfucker.
You don't have to like Goldberg. I don't really even like Goldberg, but you can't deny how over he was in WCW at the time and how much he was pushed. So, as far as the crossover, I think it was successful from an athlete to a wrestler.
Today, I feel like I'm having a Brett over Sean day. It changes though.
But we all know everybody over Bill Goldberg.
Everybody over Bill Goldberg. All right, Sammy, who you got number 3? Breaking in the top 3.
Number 3, the contentious one. I have Billy Corgan. I mean, he brought back NWA. He's been in the wrestling industry for a decade now, doing behind the scenes stuff, but like he didn't have to come into this. Like, I don't think he's made any money doing it. I think he's only lost money doing it. And he still wants to do it. Like, I think he's added more than he has taken off of the whole.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Does he make unquestionable booking decisions? Yes. Okay. Yes, he does.
Tyrus.
I mean, I think he's trying. I mean, I think he's, his heart is in the right place. Like
his heart is in the right place.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I think that me personally, I like the NWA throwback style with the studio show. I like that 80s feel.
Because otherwise, we just get Impact doing it once a year.
And they have some good talent on that show. It just his booking is terrible sometimes, like really, really bad. Like, you can't have Tyrus competing for the world championship. You just cannot.
If you're Billy Corgan, you can.
And be credible. I mean, and be credible.
If you're Billy Corgan, you can.
Yeah, but nobody's watches. That's why everyone makes fun of NWA, right? Now that's why nobody's gonna watch.
NWA.
If I was booking NWA, I think JTG would be my world champion.
Yeah,
might get some hate out there. I don't care. I would probably have JTG as my world champion out of that roster.
I
like JTG.
Billy Corgan has been in the wrestling business as long as he has is something. It's something. He is much like Jeff Jarrett. Way better when he is not in full control. I'm sorry, but that pay-per-view in like July, where it was like a 2-day one, and God, it was awful. It was horrible. I don't think I've ever had to suffer through anything that childbirth did not hurt as much as watching that pay-per-view. And I've done that naturally. It hurt less than that pay-per-view. It hurt less than that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He has the ability to do something well. I think Tyrus has something on him. That's why he's booking the way he is.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
But God, he is just killing NWA right now, and not in a good way.
No. No, I mean, some of it is that, I think he has a limited amount of resources at his hands, but even then, like, Tyrus still shouldn't be. You have enough decent wrestlers that Tyrus shouldn't be
Velvet
in your
Sky
world
could be
picture.
the champion over Tyrus.
Well, yeah, for sure.
She sucks.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I
Oh,
like her on
sorry,
commentary. I
cut
don't
them
mind her on
out for
commentary.
let's go.
All right, CM, who you got at 3?
Number 3 is I'm now this one is controversial because she not technically, she hasn't wrestled and she may not wrestle. I am going with, honestly, no, let me take that back. I am going to go with a tie, with a 3-way tie between Cardi B, Takeoff, and the Balls.
Accusations.
I said balls. I don't give a flip flop or fuck about Ross. The
I
hell?
heard the boss. I heard the boss.
If Rick Ross was on fire, I'd get some Wingstop and eat it. I go with Cardi B because the whole thing between her and Lacey Evans was funny as shit. I laughed. She was eating that woman up. And Lacey tried, Lord. She tried. I can't stand Lacey Evans. And that was hilarious. I had popcorn and I was enjoying every single moment of that.
Oh my god.
I think I've only ever enjoyed one Lacey Evans match.
You enjoyed a Lacey Evans match?
Yeah, against Bailey.
Poor baby.
Not against Bailey. I did like the final one of her and Baron Corbin versus Self versus Becky, and that's only because Corbin end of days Becky and Michael Cole, down goes Becky, down goes Becky. You can't get this hype because he end of days Becky. You can, but you can't.
I miss Mismatch Challenge. But also, the second part of my 3-way tie is Takeoff, and that is because he was a huge RKO fan, little Arcade Bro fan, and I know that was something that he really did enjoy. And the Boss, because I
just wanted to.
The Mellow. No, is it Mellow? The youngest one talking about the Miz and slipping up and saying the N-word was Booker T was funny to me. I'm sorry, because WWE did not mute that, and they are on a delay, and somebody caught that, and they was just like, they ain't gonna catch that, they ain't gonna catch that. And Black Twitter was like, hold up. Oh, and their ratings popped because of that. And LeVar just being LeVar on national TV. I love it. I just love it. Those are that's my controversial 3-way.
All right.
Who you got for number 3, man?
First things first. Like Cardi B, and I wasn't a rumor that Cardi B was gonna be on it was supposed to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca, and Cardi was gonna be on one side and Megan Thee Stallion gonna be on the other side. Why did that? Do y'all jobs? That could have been.
If Jade and Willow could be like the special guest referees, I would pay for that.
It's just like, come on, do your jobs. Let's go.
So I don't know if we'll get mixed match challenge again because that requires them giving money to charity. I think they only started that to appease people about the Saudi deal. I think people are over the Saudi deal now, so they don't have to do charity stuff like that.
They don't have to do charity stuff anymore.
What you said is so deadpan is the part that got me.
Always says it with a straight face.
So serious. Okay, here I go. Okay, so I found my fourth So if you saw me down like this, I'm like, all right, I'll take him. No, because okay, like my list, I didn't want just a hit it and quit it, like just one appearance and then back off. So that was kind of making it harder for me to do a fourth. But so I will go with the refrigerator Perry from the Chicago Bears.
That's a good one.
He did a wonderful job in that
Yep.
Royal Rumble. He like that in the flows was very awesome, and the Chicago Bears for my daddy, you know. Boom. Okay, so number 3, we weren't trying to deny it, we were trying to fight it, because he's a butt. He's a butthole. I don't know how he got his. I don't know who he is now in real life. I don't know if it's a rule or not.
You better not say who I think you gonna say.
I'm sorry, Logan Paul.
Hell the fuck no.
I'm sorry.
I will admit I did have him in my top 10, but he was at the bottom of the list.
You gonna hate me, CM?
Match, sis.
You gonna hate me,
This
CM?
moment actually was awesome. It was good. Like it was worth us saying, huh? It was worth that. And Saudi was perfect because it's Saudi in his own perfect world. I'm hoping he don't get a championship match again in the near future, but I can see him with the title. I'm sorry. It was good. Just
I will give Snooki applause before I give him applause.
I'm sorry. This is hurting my soul.
I know it's not. Remember, it's not favorites; it's best. So
it was better than him versus Floyd. I'll give it that.
You could have said Chucky. Chucky was in WCW and WWE.
I would have taken Bob Barker.
I don't do no voodoo dolls. I don't do voodoo dolls.
I don't either.
I would have taken Bob Barker in 99 cents.
We'll take Bob Barker.
But both Bob Barker and Chucky were bad.
We got Chucky. But I'm pretty sure there's been a televangelist or somebody's Linda McMahon. You got other options besides that little raggedy ass Paul boy.
I know.
All right.
I know.
And it's Saudi. It don't take much to be flashy in Saudi. That's why he hurt. I hope he don't come back.
I will never watch Impulsive. I will never do that. You will never get none of my YouTube time or money. But
I've seen clips. I've never watched like an actual video.
I never will. But I don't know how it happened. Let him be a villain. Hopefully, let him continue to get behind beats. I'm here for it. But it was entertaining.
I did see a clip that I did think was funny where the guy is talking to Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is saying he had 7 of the rounds against Floyd, and he tells him, no, you didn't, and tells him he had 9 when it only had 8 rounds, and he gave Floyd 9 of 8 rounds.
You're not helping me.
I thought that was kind of funny. It wasn't Logan being funny; it was the guy next to Logan being funny. But I thought that was kind of funny.
All right, so
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
Before I give Logan Paul credit for having a good match, I will be nice about Christopher Irvine and his insurrection activities.
Oh my God! That's a lot, sis.
About the fact that he had the Drake surgery and looks worse and bloated now than he did before. I will not talk about his micro links. I will not talk about the fact that he had a whole Nazi that he smashed in his music video. I will be nice about Christopher Irvine before I ever give a Logan or Jake Paul credit for shit.
His buckshot was better than CM Punk's.
I got a 5-year-old who could hit a buckshot Larry better than CM Punk. She don't say that much.
Luke, Wrestle Talk, they called it better than Hangman Page.
That's because Luke and Wrestle Talk ain't shit.
I also thought of something I can give Jake Paul credit for.
Uh-oh.
I didn't say nothing about Jake Paul. I said nothing about Jake Paul said Logan. I didn't say
Do
nothing about
it.
Jake Paul.
He didn't walk into that fucking forest. I said it.
All right, so my number 3.
What? Sammy, you are helping me here. Oh my god.
Because he was a champion in another form of fighting before he came to WWE. My number 3 is Brock Lesnar. I think he's the biggest and most successful mixed martial arts UFC crossover that wrestling's had. So whether you like him or not, he's been champion multiple times.
In WWE only, I will and can argue Bobby Lashley was a much bigger star than he is, as well as Ronda.
I don't know. I don't think Ronda's bigger. Maybe Bobby, but Bobby wasn't as well known as an MMA fighter as Brock was when he came in.
I do not know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good MMA fighter, and he was known as an MMA fighter, but he wasn't Brock Lesnar in the UFC.
Well, no. Brock Lesnar before wrestling was just before WWE was just a wrestler, NCAA division champion. I think 2 years. I think he won it 2 years.
But he fought in the UFC before he wrestled in WWE.
No,
I believe so. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I'll Google it. I don't.
I could
Remember.
be wrong, but this is wonderful podcasting as we all wait for Sammy to tell us what the Google machine says.
Debut October 11th, 2000.
Okay.
But
Debut for what?
That could be talking about wrestling.
So that's going to be debut for what? Debut for UFC or debut for WWE?
Began an MMA career in 2007, so well after he had.
Oh, so I guess my bad. I don't. It felt to me that he came in as already someone that was over as a UFC fighter. At least when I remember him coming in, or when I first remember noticing Brock in the main scene, he was already. I knew him as a WWE or as a UFC fighter. Jesus Christ, I can't speak properly.
That's okay. We all
God
have those days.
damn. So, needless to say, that was my number 3. But maybe upon further review, maybe he shouldn't be. So I don't know.
I mean, but we can also argue, and I will give you this because I was wrong about Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley did start his MMA career after WWE. We could argue that that is a wrestling to entertainment crossover. So it can go both ways.
What's up, Blue?
Boo boo.
Bye, Blue.
What the boo boo?
Well,
now you off the list. Now you just ain't shit. See?
Well, wrestling to football to entertainment.
True shit. True shit.
All right, Sammy, who you got at number 2?
Oh, except fell for Brock, and he still sucked.
He was in the Vikings.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, see, we're not going. Okay, no.
Very far, but much better. Go ahead, Sammy.
What we got?
Who you got at number 2, Sammy?
You got a phone, Blue. You got a phone. Use it. Get a charge.
Number 2, Cyndi Lauper.
That's a good one.
I'm not. I'm laughing because they did. Phineas and Ferb did like a rip off of her. I'm Madonna and I want to have fun. And now when I hear Cyndi Lauper's name, all I think is I'm Madonna and I want to have. And you are. Damn, that was a whole era.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a whole era, and like had wrestlers in her music videos too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her and Luke Albino.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was it was the rock and wrestling era for a reason, and Cyndi Lauper was a big part of that.
Was she? Okay, so I feel like she wasn't supposed to be a part of it. It was supposed to be someone else, or it was only supposed to be for like one night, and like she was either a big wrestling fan or somebody in her family was. And that's where it kind of built. Am I mistaken on
I
that?
think it was something
That
along the
sounds right.
lines of like Roddy kicked her in the head, and instead of getting mad, getting upset, and wanting to leave, she was like, "I fucking love it. Let's do more." I think that's about how it went.
Yeah, that sounds very plausible. I loved it as like a little kid hearing my brother and sister talk about that time and just like how fun it was. Like they didn't know who the hell Cyndi Lauper was, uh, but it was like an interesting time for them because they were just like, oh, like I see my favorite wrestlers out there, and I'm sorry, but that did give us that stand back video. So yeah, you can't go wrong.
Stand back.
Also, shout out to Wendy
It's a whole lot of
Richter.
shoulders. It's a
Are we really just gonna ignore this happening right now? We gonna ignore that.
I was planning on changing the subject. Shout out to Wendy Richter. We love you, girl.
I really wish she had beat the shit out of Moolah.
Right?
Oh, she should have.
I really think
She should have just shot on her.
I really don't think that she knew that was her. I feel like if she knew that was her, like and she knew for certain it was Moolah, she would have shot on her. My number 2.
Set wrestling back 10 years.
I give it like 50. I am going to go with Bad Bunny. He came in, he had a series of banger matches. So Stephen Amell set the bar for the modern folks and then like kind of surpassed it on his show. But Bad Bunny came on WWE and was like,
What?
American audiences, this is how you're gonna get to know me. And like did that. Like if it was not for him, I do not think that we would have had folks feel as comfortable as Pat McAfee has and them raggedy little boys do too. I think that wrestling fans have kind of elevated our demands in entertainers coming in. And I think that part of that is because of Bad Bunny.
I think
So go ahead.
without Bad Bunny, we would not have zombies in WWE. Shout out
that
to
does
Zombie
not
Ref.
help.
No, we still would have had
That does
those.
not help.
You think that we still would have gotten those in that Miz match where Miz got?
We still would have had that. They needed that money, so we still would have had that.
So I'm confused. I'm confused here. So we had a task, right? We were supposed to pick top 5 best moments, right? We have one person that had a whole era and didn't have a number 4 at first. Now we got CM, who has clearly picked someone at number 2 over someone that she just doesn't like in Logan Paul. We're not talking about like or favorites. Logan Paul is better in the ring than Bad Bunny. He's had a better stint in wrestling than Bad Bunny had. There's no way you can put Bad Bunny above Logan Paul just because you don't like Logan Paul. We're not talking about like or favorite. This is best right now. Logan Paul is better than Bad Bunny as a wrestler and on the mic.
I had Bad Bunny over Logan Paul as well, but they were like 7 and 9.
How can you argue? Logan Paul's been the best celebrity wrestler in the ring.
Me, in my top 5 best wrestling or entertainment crossovers, I do not put Logan Paul on that level simply because Logan Paul, I don't expect much from him.
But you expect a lot from Bad Bunny?
I do. Because
Why?
the fact that this man has a freaking, like, it's Bad Bunny. Like, the kids I taught.
Who's a garbage rapper?
What's Logan Paul?
And having
a garbage YouTuber, but I'm just saying. Like,
so here's the thing: a lot of the kids that I taught were Black kids and Hispanic kids, so I knew Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny crossing over into wrestling made me super popular because I watched wrestling and I could explain this really random things to them. These are middle school kids. They don't know who Logan Paul is. Even the high schoolers don't know who Logan Paul is. Logan Paul is popular to a very small subset of Gen Z people who like to spend money for whatever reason. Don't know why, don't really particularly care, but Logan Paul is really not that popular worldwide. For the kids I interacted with, Bad Bunny was top 5. So for me, in my top 5, I rank Bad Bunny because let's be real, without Bad Bunny, do we realistically think that they would have felt comfortable with these folks doing the type of things that they did?
I'll go ahead and say I do, however, like KSI and the Prime Drink. The Prime Drink's pretty tasty. Shout out KSI.
Side note, we need to give Miz his flowers because that's he's the common denominator. He was in the Logan Paul match at WrestleMania. And
He's the common denominator for Snooki too, isn't he?
WrestleMania. It was
what wasn't he facing Morrison in that Snooki thing? Whatever.
No. It was Snooki and Morrison versus and Trish Stratus going against other people. Miz wasn't in there.
Who were they going against?
Michelle McCool and
probably the dude.
No one ever knows the dude. Layla, Michelle McCool, and Trish Stratus.
Yeah. He wasn't in that scenario. But like that's like honestly, that's something to be said. Okay, we have a celebrity. We want him to shine. We don't want him to get hurt. Miz. It's like, what?
Miz arguably is the most successful person who crossed over from reality TV into wrestling, because a lot of times we forget he was on Real World and he put in that work to get to the level he's in. They also, they mimicked him on Chappelle's show. So, that's 2 things that he was on. Whereas, Luchasaurus was just on, well, I can't just say just on Big Brother.
Well, he was a wrestler first.
He was, and then
now you have Darby Allin. Darby Allin was on reality TV before.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Can we talk?
And y'all just stole my number 2
was also
anyhow.
on reality TV, and I really don't want to talk about that.
Okay, I like Gigi when she was on the Gypsy Wedding. She was the most normal one out of.
But finding out how abnormal everything was.
Oh, they were bad. Okay, so look,
can we please move on? I do not want to talk about
insomnia as a pregnant lady, finding that community, and yeah.
Gigi doesn't want to talk about that family. I don't want to talk about that family.
So Gigi and Darby, let's not remember, because Darby's stint on reality TV was. He looked like the dude. Y'all remember DJ Quaz when he played in all those movies and he was like a huge dork? Look him up. He has the perfect dork face. That is who Darby Allin was going for when he was on that reality TV show.
Oh my God.
But but I feel like Luchasaurus was not as well known as a wrestler like nationally until he did Big Brother.
Then he was more known for Big Brother than he was for wrestling.
And then he got over with Lucha Underground. Can Lucha Underground count as his own like entertainment thing?
What
if still
freaking acid trip that was?
It was a telenovela. That was a telenovela with wrestling. And that studio is being used for I don't know if you guys watch like Zeus or anything, but they hold their reunions there, and I feel the spirit of Lucha Underground every time they fight in that studio.
That's funny. Who's next? Number 2.
Me.
Okay.
So like we're trying to be biased here, but we can't. I'm sorry. Like it's a little bit of the little quality to put one over the other. John Cena should be on this list, but he's not. So I'm going to give it to Batista.
Damn it.
Interesting.
Batista, I did not. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out and he was Drax, I like what? And I like it. What is going on here? I don't like. And then hear the whole story of he was supposed to he wanted to do he wanted to do movies, but people talking about no, you can't. You're not John Cena. Who's John Cena? Sorry.
Didn't they give his
compare
role
me to other people?
to like John Cena and Triple H and like other folks?
Say that again.
Didn't they give like Batista had like was supposed to like audition for roles or something like that, and they gave those roles away to other people? Didn't they?
I heard they did the same thing with CM Punk.
It's like don't do that.
Batista's a better actor than John Cena.
Everybody
doesn't say it much. They're both bad.
Will we really be worried about watching CM Punk on like anything?
And I also heard something about like a pinball machine or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I listened to that interview.
No, I saw a clip.
Like they licensed a pinball machine in his likeness or something, and like he didn't get money for it.
What? Well, that's on brand with WWE. So
interesting.
Yeah. That's really on brand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Batista fan. I was never the biggest Batista fan, but you can't deny he's been successful both at wrestling and somewhat successful in Hollywood. I mean, I think he was more successful in wrestling than he's been in Hollywood. But I mean, if it wasn't for Guardian of the Galaxy, what other movie could you tell me he's been in?
Nothing. But I'll tell you.
No, he's been in other movies. A lot of them on Netflix.
He's been in a bunch. I'm just saying you couldn't name one like off the top of your head.
Oh, it was the one with the little girl, I Spy or Me and a Spy. But
Hotel Artemis.
That check was big enough. That check was big enough where it's like we want you to come back, but just miss Guardians of the Galaxy a couple of shooting times. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Well, you have to. I really don't. Bye. So it's like.
No, I think he did a good job as Drax. Drax is a great character in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean,
one of my favorite movies.
You can't argue that he's been successful in both wrestling and fairly successful in acting. So that's a solid choice for sure.
He was in Blade Runner too.
Yes, he was. You're right. Yeah, he was.
Like
that just popped into my brain. Yeah.
Okay, I got mine. You stole my number one, but luckily I had backup.
You should be your number one.
All right, so y'all mentioned. Go ahead.
Army of the Dead, I think the name was.
Yep.
Was that the zombie movie?
It was a zombie movie. That was the reason we had the zombie match. See?
My number two, you guys already talked about him, is The Miz. Because he crossed over from the real world. When he first popped up on WWE TV, my wife said, "Why is Mike Mizanin on WWE?" And I was like, "Who's Mike Mizanin?" I didn't know him from the real world, but she did it. She's just a non-wrestling fan. So yeah, so I had The Miz. Plus, he's stayed around. He's been successful, been a champion. You can't deny kind of what he's done in WWE. You might not like him, but he's been given this shit creative a lot and turned it into positive stuff and done a lot of good shit. So
I have the Miz's best match that hasn't happened yet. Him versus Coral. I want to see that match because I want to see her body slam him because she almost did on the actual show. So I want to see that.
Not to mention Miz and Maurice is the best. I think the best
really
wrestling.
I love that show.
And best wrestling reality show. It's
comfort. It's so nice.
Wrestler of the Year 2011, I believe.
Yeah. I think he's underrated as a wrestler. I mean, he's not the most fluid, but I think he's underrated.
During that time, Orton was out, Cena was out, Punk was out, Triple H was out. Miz became number one.
You know what, shady ass?
Wrestler of the Year.
You know what, with your shady ass? Stop being so damn shady. Tell us your number one.
Tell us your number one.
So
My
shady.
number one.
And it was
I-
real cute too. It was real subtle unless you catch it.
Right?
My number one had a movie made about it,
Uh-oh.
starring Jim Carrey.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's on top of the list. For some...
All right. ALW knows Andy Kaufman.
Yep.
Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler.
These guys
Kaufman,
don't know.
Okay.
Kaufman
okay.
came
TM
in
might know.
and for
For you to be-
months
For
he
you to be
wrestled
young, you're
women.
doing a whole lot of old
He
stuff
wrestled
now.
in the
There's no-
women's
Right?
division. Andy Kaufman, male
You-
actor, came in, wrestled the women's division.
You think he was the old guy of the show, right?
I'm just
Sammy?
saying, for you to be the younger person, you throwing the
Before I
old
say
stuff out of this
anything,
right
let
now.
me double check this.
That's like from like the late 70s, early 80s, like 81.
I know that, but
I
I have
wasn't
to
born.
check and make sure before we get canceled.
For anyone say turn this podcast down. 'cause
She
of
gonna say something
misinformation.
about Andy Kaufman. What's she gonna say? He's dead, so it doesn't really matter.
No, you said he wrestled mainly women, so I'm double checking before I say anything.
He made a big deal about it. I only wrestle women and you laid your hands on me. You a man.
That sounds hilariously stupid.
So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, like I've said on this show many times, I can't remember everything. So like when we have to do these lists, I Google stuff, and that Andy Kaufman was like number one on like 3 or 4 different websites lists of crossovers.
Oh wow.
Makes sense.
How's the fact checking going?
I watched Tales from the Tape like 3 weeks ago, and that was the episode.
Yeah,
We're good.
So
We're still
it was
on?
fresh in my brain.
we're good. She's like, we're good.
Not Kim.
You wanna-
Okay, good.
I just did not want to say anything. That would get us canceled.
The true icon of intergender wrestling.
Not Candice LeRae, who took a
Well,
Nike straight to face.
Honestly, I'm just glad you didn't say Tessa Blanchard.
Who
Right? I don't know who she
Moving
is.
on.
All right.
does not exist. Number one for me, since somebody stole Batista. We'll
Great
go,
minds think alike.
we'll go to Shad Gaspar. For God of War. What? No, was it God of War? Is it God of War? It's God of something. Amongst other things, Great Human, which he was still walking Earth. I would have loved to have seen what he would have grown into as an actor, both in person as well as voice acting, as well as being like the physical body type for different video games. So that's my number one.
I love it.
Keep your shady ass comments. Go ahead.
No shade.
You got it, number one.
No, just look at his face. He just looks like he's just ready to talk shit.
Well, all right. Let's. You been real emotional now. I gotta defend this one.
Okay, I can make you laugh real quick. My other number one option was going to be Scrappy Doo for cosplaying as Jordan Devlin. He has done a great job.
He can't do nothing about his ass.
His eyes is the shape. Okay, tell me that live action Scrappy Doo does not look like Jordan Devlin.
He definitely does.
I didn't say that. No more
He
than
definitely
Essence like. No more than Essence the dude that plays Shaggy.
Okay, he does look like Matthew Lillard, but then it takes a lot of skill to have a CGI character be a wrestler in person. See, now you're laughing. Now you can think of your number one. Boom.
All right. Who you got at one?
Let me stretch out for this. Okay.
You got got stretched that hard for number one.
No, because you was digging, you was keeping your heels on it. But you know what? He did his thing, and he's
Say
still
it.
doing his thing.
Say it.
Dwayne the
Thank
Rock
you.
Johnson.
Thank you. How can we have a best of list and he's not number one on everybody's
I
list?
am sorry.
Because
Like,
John Cena can act better than he can. Dave Bautista can act better.
That's a
he
full
can't.
big
Oh, no, he
goddamn
can't.
lie.
He
That's a full
cannot.
no.
I will refute that.
No.
Let's see.
No,
He
no,
has
no.
more
let
range.
No,
The
no,
Rock
no.
has played
I
himself
mentally
in every
blocked-
single
I-
movie.
Let's not even compare Fast and Furious movies, sis. Do not compare.
He's played the
John
same
Cena's
character
Fast
in
and
every
Furious
movie.
with The Rock's John's Fast and
He's
Furious.
played
No,
the same character.
2005
I
Fast
disagree.
and Furious was the best one.
Have you seen Be Cool? The character he plays in Be Cool is
That
like no
was
other character he's played in any other
funny.
movie.
Come on,
He
man.
stole that whole movie
Gridiron
as a
Gang was
tertiary character.
Gridiron Game was low key cool with Xavier. Yes. No, it wasn't. Gridiron Game was a low key banger. If you got a kid, I
Again,
will go to the one with
you can have your opinions, but you can't argue the fact that in the Attitude Era when he was wrestling, he was one of the top 2 stars in wrestling, and now in Hollywood, he's one of the top 2 box office must-see actors in
I
movies.
wasn't fun to sleep on.
That's because he is a thirst trap. He sits there up there and lies and acts like he likes Meg Thee Stallion when he ain't never been with no black woman that anybody can prove. He sits up there and acts.
We're not talking about whether you like him or he's a good person.
You said that he was a top 2 draw. I'm telling you why he's a top 2 draw.
It doesn't matter why. It
People
just
think that
is.
He's cute. That's why they go and watch him.
Yes!
Let me.
Well, first of all, I'm a heterosexual male that doesn't think he's cute. And I go to
Dwayne
watch him.
is very much wooden. He is very much.
And I
John
disagree.
Cena character in WWE on like anything else. For me, he does not do anything but be The Rock, and that's perfectly fine. There are other actors who do it as well. I do not rank them as being great actors, except for like 1 or 2 roles. For me, Dwayne has not had that breakout acting role. I think that if he has something that really pushes him, like a drama, give him something like a drama, not like a romantic comedy.
He doesn't need a drama though.
Give him something that he can delve deep into, so we can see real, actual growth. I think that he has potential to be a great actor, but for me, as a crossover, he's just mediocre.
I wouldn't
He's a
say
number
that.
6.
It's
He's
like
a 5.5.
So
for me, if you're entertaining, be entertaining, and sometimes you'll stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Like if like you talking about being a dramatic actor. I don't think anybody wants to see that. Low key. No offense. I don't want to see that. Like maybe you put some dirt on him because no offense, he's too pretty, and that's what I want to do. But
Skyscraper is probably the most that he's gone there.
Which
You
one?
say what?
Skyscraper.
Oh, the one where he
That was
his
probably
family
the most dramatic he's been.
San
If not
Andreas.
that, it was
That right there.
I was gonna say,
would
if
be
not that,
number
it was
one
probably
ranking.
Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Walking Tall is probably the other one, of where he's
Yeah.
more dramatic than.
Those 2 would give him a number 1 ranking, but his newer stuff is like all the same. Maybe if he gets away from like Kevin Hart and like association with him, it would be better. But
I will not.
Buddy. And
No,
it's it's annoying. It's really annoying.
I disagree. I disagree. I thought Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart and The Rock was hysterical.
I will not.
So,
get anyone
I
to
thought
get
The
away
Rock
from
was
the bag.
hysterical. I thought Kevin Hart was hysterical. I think The Rock is absolutely hysterical. I'm a heterosexual male. I'm not looking at him because he's attractive. I like him because he's fucking hysterical. He's a good actor. He's charismatic. I'm a Rock fan. I don't know what else to say. I like his movies.
Offense. And in ring, you don't have to like. For me, if you just bring the intensity, I rewatched a bunch of stuff when I was doing my college 2 years, and so and I remember rewatching the matches. And no, he wasn't flipping over tables. He wasn't doing moonsaults, but he had an intensity about him. is like Roman Reigns, where it's like you don't have to do a lot, but when you draw me in, I'm engaged. I'm engaged. I don't like who can say you were engaged by not doing. I think you're better in the ring when you don't do a lot, but I still want you to win. I'm still engaged in the story, and that's a movie. I just want to be entertained. I'm not talking about. I don't need death. I don't need. I'm not like. I don't want you to be the next Denzel Washington. He is making
Denzel
his
acts the
money.
same in every
Make your
movie.
money. Do your thing. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, my number one was The Rock too.
I don't consider Denzel Washington to be that great of an actor.
We're not gonna do this.
Oh my God.
He's the same in every movie too.
Changing subject here. So I didn't have wrestlers on my list, but there is a wrestler that I feel like should be on the list,
I'm
and I just want to say a quote of his.
Go ahead.
One night I knocked out Mr. T, kicked Cyndi Lauper, chased Dick Clark back to his locker room, and slapped Little Richard.
Who am I?
Yeah. Who is Roddy Piper?
Oh.
That is one of the greatest quotes I've heard from a wrestler.
You
And
know
all
what?
factual. A man with such great heat, he got stabbed like 6 times by fans.
I will say this.
He went to Mexico and said he was going to sing the national anthem and did La Cucaracha, and they were afraid the fans were going to burn down the arena.
Like, I will say this. One of the best thing about the pandemic era, they were showing pay-per-views that I have never seen. So 2008 Royal Rumble, right? And Jimmy Superfly Snuka comes out. And then Roddy Piper comes out. And for some reason, and then everyone forgets kayfabe for about 10 seconds, where everybody just stops fighting each other and just watches this exchange where Roddy Piper talking about Jimmy, you mother, and then no one, and then it doesn't cut. That's probably the best moment ever. Like CM Punk and Morrison were supposed to be fighting, but then they're just stopping and like, do you see this stuff? We see this stupid. Wait. Fight.
He made Legends House. Roddy Piper made Legends House. And no one can tell me any different because he was the right he was reality TV gold. He was the right mixture of caring yet shady. I would have him and Mean Gene could have narrated a whole lot of shit just being shady as shit, and I would have loved it. However, I want to see a Roddy Piper movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Piper.
He has movies.
I'm saying like
a movie
about him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
Like
so dope.
him or Haku.
Because like he had nuclear heat. Like he had people riled up.
Like there are so many, like Roddy Piper, Haku, Bruiser Brody. Those are the 3 that I can think of, like whose lives would be so interesting that you would go in a theater. I would actually go to a movie theater and watch that. And I think movie theaters are disgusting and wrong. It's always sticky. It's
always sticky.
Well, here's the thing: is I can almost guarantee you that they would cast Zac Efron. Do you really want to watch the movie?
God, please, no.
I would bet
He's
money
not
that's who they
funny
cast. No, he's not.
He's
That's the movie that we'd get though.
He's not
That's
a good
movie.
actor. I'll watch all of the Wayne's movies before I rewatch Zac Efron.
I like the Waynes.
Besides High
Scary
School,
movie, White Chicks. I love the Waynes.
I said
No,
the
she said Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne. I heard Dwayne's. I was like, I heard the
Boy.
Waynes, not Dwayne's.
boy.
Chicks.
I love the
Homie,
Waynes.
don't play that.
Homie, don't play that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Homie, don't
But
say that.
I will watch all the Rock's movies if I never have to watch Zac Efron act again past High School Musical.
No, he's a prime example of killer heartthrob and just riding that wave into making money.
He
When
always
Aaron
looked like a weird kind of lesbian to me. And not like a young MA lesbian where you just say, hey, how you doing? But
Well, it's a good thing you're not his target audience.
like a Ellen DeGeneres. He likes women my age. Like a Ellen DeGeneres. I know that you're a lesbian, but do you know that you're a lesbian? Type.
Now, okay. The Greatest Showman is a very bomb movie. I will say that him and Hugh Jackman. If you don't watch it for Christmas, you don't like Christmas. That's one of my Christmas movies right now. So watch that one. That's how I'm saying.
There would not be a Vince McMahon if there was not a P.T. Barnum.
Well, for sure. There'd be a lot of people. There wouldn't be a lot of people if there wasn't a P.T. Barnum, no doubt.
Also, I don't particularly care for Christmas. So there's that.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. All right, let's wrap this up because this is about to get real ugly. Go ahead and take us out.
No, congratulations to MJF.
Take us out, the Grinch. It's all right. Go ahead. Let's go.
He's going to be acting with Zac Efron in the Iron Claw movie. Is it the Iron Fist?
The Von
Iron
Erich
Claw
movie. Oh my gosh! Please do this. Yeah. Please do this justice. Oh my gosh!
I think it's going to be really good for MJF. It is going to get potentially AEW that exposure they've been looking for, which considering they haven't gone on SNL, that could be really good. Also, congratulations to Montez Ford and Bianca Belair for their upcoming reality TV show.
Nice.
If you all don't know, Brandy Rhodes has continued on with her social media journey. She has 2 Lies and a Truth, as well as a shot of Brandy on their Nightmare Family YouTube. So feel free to go out and watch. So.
Oh, actually, you know what? We still have to do your Clown of the Week.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
I totally forgot.
Okay, so here's the thing. Does it have to be wrestling related?
It can be anything you want.
Ooh, let's see, because that's kind of hard to do. There's a lot. I am going to give my Clown of the Week to misinformed celebrities who have a platform and do not know what the fuck they are talking about. While it is great that you are encouraging people to vote, do not encourage people to vote for someone simply based on their party and you know nothing about who they are as a person. Do not allow them to buy ads that you run on your social media because people will look at you like, are you stupid? You can't even vote here. It happens. It's happening. It's kind of sad. Go out if you haven't already. It's probably too late for you now. But make sure that you vote. Make sure that your voice is heard. But also be informed. Don't just vote for people based off of your favorite celeb said to vote for them or they look like you or something like that. Make sure that you're informed. Make sure that you actually take the time to get to know what you are potentially putting your life into, because these local elections and these state elections matter far more than, to be quite honest with you, the presidential election, because the president relies on the state and local governments to give him a lot of power. So please make sure that you know what the fuck you're talking about and you don't allow people to run ad space on your very popular social media and then end up looking like a fool. Also, forever and always, fuck punk ass Phil. Y'all thought I was not gonna say that. I want to know how they gonna
it is the end of the show. I think it's okay to go a little off the rails. It's okay. It's the end of the show.
Does anybody else wonder how they're going to Photoshop him off the cover?
I'm not worried about it.
I know the people at like the company are like, no, we're not taking him out this game. Fuck you people for this shit. But we will take him off the cover. You know what? The cover can just be Jade.
Cause okay, I honestly don't okay, I get it. CM Punk is a huge person, but you have other stars, boo-boos. Like, I'm tired of this whole notion of everybody's an indie person. No, they are known enough. John Moxley is known enough. Daniel Bryan is known enough. The Young Bucks are known enough. You will sell this without fail.
%100 agree.
My husband just sent me this. Family Guy's Evolution. No, American Dad is Evolution.
I would like to point out the positive. I always like to do that. So,
a moment
because
of
we had
positivity with Sammy Joe.
because we had this year of Punk, I think that in the future, we're not going to have those crowds of fans taking over the show chanting CM Punk anymore.
Positive.
Yeah.
That is
I mean, we're still going to get the what chants. Well,
I think we're still going to get the CM Punk chance. You know, there's one person that I'm surprised none of us mentioned. Floyd Mayweather.
Say that again?
Floyd Mayweather. Because the fact that he did not beat the dog shit out of Big Show.
So again, this was when I put all this stuff down, he crossed my mind, but then I thought that was bad. Like, all the stuff with Floyd was all bad. None of it was good. Like, he never had what I would call a good segment.
It would have been good. Right. Like, it was okay. So I can say for me, it was good when, you know, he got hit with the punch and it took him a second and he was like, remember the money. Like, you literally see in his brain. Remember the money. Remember the money. And he's like, fuck the money. And he gets ready. And, you know, his homies see that and embrace him and make sure he doesn't do that. So, see, we had in wrestling, we had healthy heterosexual conversations about how to not beat the dog shit out of somebody. Look.
See, that would have been on my worst list.
In real time, I enjoyed it. It was cool. Like, the whole Big Show coming to the match, and then I think the whole he jumping the rail and doing all this, like, let's go. Like, the hood coming out, let's go, get in the car, let's go. Like, I loved all that in real time.
We had fun with that moment. All right. Does anyone else have anything else to say before we wrap it on up? Because
I do not.
We really will we'll stay up here talking about shit.
I do. I got a question. Anyone want to watch NWA on Saturday? Hard Times 3? Sammy, you want to watch it? Nikki, you want to watch it?
Like, Wakana's coming out this weekend. I'm not even sure I'm going to be available this Saturday.
JTG and Fandango, who are they going up against?
I forget who the champions are. Whoever they are, they're wrestling for the titles. I know that.
If I was,
I'm tempted.
Well, if you'll watch it, I'll watch it. If you don't want to watch it, we don't have to do it. But
I would watch, if I was available, I'd watch Nikita Lyons matches before I watch an NWA pay-per-view.
There's some decent. NWA has some decent wrestlers.
It's that last pay-per-view. That last pay-per-view threw me off. The last one that I watched.
Give me Andy Kaufman versus Foxy Jackson any day of the week. I'd watch that instead. Let's go, Foxy.
How about this? We'll let you guys know if we're gonna do a NWA watch along. We'll decide.
But we are going to be live on Friday. We will be watching along with Rampage, and that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and most importantly, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us on our social medias, on Facebook. Of course, you're here on YouTube, and as well as Twitter. Come interact with us. Come talk to us. We will not bite your heads off.
Promise.
If you message, like if you talk to us on the workforce wrestling one, because if you message me and I don't know who you are and you say something sideways, I'm gonna smack you. I apologize. Let me know who you are before you catch me on a bad day.
As a warning to you.
I love y'all though. Make sure, as Hassan is reminding us, AEW is on actually tonight because it is almost 12:30 here. So we will be watching tonight. Yeah. AEW for the next little bit is very packed. I am super excited. I hope that packedness goes over to Rampage. I know it's going to go to Dark and Dark Elevation because around pay-per-view times, they do have for me, they have a lot more energy than Dynamite some weeks, and I love it. If you have not gone and watched Dark and Dark Elevation, make sure that you make it a thing to watch it. Put that on your notes. If you choose to watch WWE, feel free to. But of course, come watch us on Friday again on Rampage. We will be here. We will be live. Looking forward to seeing you all. And peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Sasha's the GOAT.